All right. This is one hell of a nuanced topic. I'm going to try my best to be as fair, but shoot as straight as I possibly can. Does power creep officially exist in Wuthering Waves? Is HP inflation now a thing in Wuthering Waves? First off, power creep has always existed in Wuthering Waves, but it's never been problematic due to the ability to still be able to have skill expression, get good skill to the point where you comfortably clear all in-game content. Let me state and clarify one more time when I view power creep as a problem. It's when the baseline of the game's difficulty has been compromised by HP inflation and then power creep, meaning the newer characters are much stronger than the older characters. And if you're somebody who's very skilled at the game and you do your rotations properly, you're dodging, parrying, and all that jazz, and you're still struggling to clear the in-game content, we now have power creep that is problematic. And I think with this latest TOA update and quote unquote expansion, if you will, has introduced a problematic power creep as well as an HP inflation. Now, we're not going to just talk out the ass here. I'm going to show you a composition in which I mastered, and I spent a number of hours going up against these newer modes in comparison against the composition we all know this mode is designed for based off of how the buff functions. But there really are so many different facets and caveats to cover. It's not just one answer. And so I pray the community known as the community incapable of understanding nuance can understand the fucking nuances of this. First, I want to start off with, my voice sounds a little bit better. I want to start off with the buff. The buff says you gain a 30% heavy attack damage bonus. This obviously doesn't apply to a lot of characters, but this is one character it does apply to. One of my favorite character in the game, Zani. And she's a perfect case study in comparison to how she's going to perform against somebody like Augusta. Now, you get a shield, you just have to pop your ult, and it's a 4-second internal cooldown. You take 10% less damage, and you get an increase of 16% damage, stacking up to 3 times, which retriggering it will reset its duration, right? So this is a universal buff. If you ult with anybody, the shield will be applied. So long as you don't get hit or the shield stays on you, you get full benefits. It's not like it's only applied to Augusta. It's just easier because Augusta just applies a shield every time she attacks, right? But this is very much so a universal buff with a skill issue attached to it. Well, with that understanding, I've prepared 2 showcases for you guys. One with the Zani comp and then one with the Augusta comp. The Zani comp took me 30 fucking tries to get a perfect run. And I do mean it's a damn near, as close to possible, perfect run. The only time I get hit in the run is intentional hits just to finish my Spectro Frazzle application from the Spectro Rover to place onto Zani to charge her up so she can enter her ult. As you know, there's a lot of micromanaging Spectro Frazzle when you do not have Peep. And if you're somebody who goes, well, you don't have Peep, you're only feeding in to how power creep is problematic. I hope you understand that, because you should not have to pull on multiple characters for one character to function. That would be a whole separate problem that contributes to the overall issue here. I do want to be fair though. With maximum skill, you can clear this floor, but with maximum skill, you're not comfortably clearing the floor. And then on the other end of the spectrum, with Augusta, who this is designed for, without her her I am clearing this shit first try, brain dead mode. I did 2 first try runs and had 50 seconds to spare on the clock. I did not lock in with Augusta on this. And if I do, I'll have no question, I'll have 1 minute to spare on the clock. I might even have more than that if I lock in. I was locked the fuck in on the Zani comp. I even tried Camellia, Rochia, and Shorekeeper, and this comp didn't have enough skill expression due to Camellia's spin. Where I'm going with this is we've reached a baseline compromise to where the HP increase of these 2 mobs is now a problem for you to use older squads and still get the full clear time. Do excuse my voice. It's still recovering. It's a lot better, but it's still recovering. But the rewards, I want to be fair here, as I said. It is only 100 Astrite and 100K and 240. I already know every excuse in the book that a Kudo bot would make. It's only 100 astrite. Well, get this, guys. I got a funny story for you. At one point in time in HSR, it was only 100 astrite. Yeah, it was only floor 12 that was a problem. Then as time went on, then floor 11 became a problem for free-to-play players and casuals and people who don't spend on every signature and pull on every character. Then floor 10, 11, and 12 became problematic. This is the classic gacha recipe of introducing power creep. There's always going to eventually be a power creep problem. It's only a matter of when. And when it does occur, it's always a very slow ramp up. Now, I do want to say something else here, and that is, how many signature weapons do I have on this team? I have Zani Sig. I have Rover using Cheng Li Sig. I have Shorekeeper using her Sig. And I still, I think, had 10 seconds to spare before failing the run on a comp with perfect rotations and optimizations. Up here, signature, 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 and actually struggled to clear. I didn't clear with this comp. I didn't clear, but I didn't go as hard on this comp as I did with this, but that's my whole entire argument. Now, another thing I checked out is the Wallenstein channel, because this guy is looked at as like debatably the best Wuthering Waves player in the world. I think he's just one of many people who know how to play the game on the highest level. But if we take you guys at face value and we give this dude that title, he's using a free-to-play team with some caveats. He's got a signature weapon on her. He's got Shorekeeper's signature weapon. And then he's got a free-to-play Emerald of Genesis on Sanhua. That said, very impressive run. But if we take the very best player in the world, if that's the title you guys want to give him, that is 2 minutes and 44 seconds, which means it's a 14-second to spare time before failing the run. This is the prime example of what I'm referencing. The best players that play this game aren't even comfortably clearing this tower with maximum skill expression and max investment. That guy's Havoc Rover is cracked. 322 crit damage. Like I said, Sig on her, Sig on shore. We're talking about a lot of investment here with maximum skill poured into the game, and we're barely clearing. Whereas Augusta and Mortef are clearing with a minute left on the clock, or even more if you take the same maximal skill and apply it to that. There's no denying that HP inflation and power creep combined have been introduced with this latest update. But let's take a look at my showcases now. This will be a bit lengthy only because that's how long the fights are. It will be a bit lengthy. You will enjoy it if you're a Zani player, because I'm just doing everything the way you're supposed to be doing it, all the swap backing and all that shit. And then I'll show the Augusta showcase. That's just pretty, you know, it was first try. So I was just like, yeah, that works for me.
Moment of resonance.
Give me your word.
No hesitation.
In war with time. Loading.
Swift and resolute.
No contest.
The end has come.
All of you at once. I don't do overtime. Reduce to dust.
I sense your weakness.
Come on. All yours. Reduce to dust.
Ordained.
That's a wrap.
I engraft you new. Loading.
Swift and resolute. Strike from the shadows. The hour is upon us.
Shut. I can spare a minute to knock some heads around. Come on. All yours. Now I have a report to write.
Oath from the heart. Loading. Astral modulation.
Swift and resolute. No hesitation. Moment of resonance.
No contest. All yours. I don't have all day.
I sense your weakness.
Come at me. Don't stand in my way. What a waste.
Ordained. Loading. In war with time.
Swift and resolute. Strike through the shadows. The hour is upon us.
All of you at once. I don't do overtime. All yours. Don't stand in my way.
I sense your weakness.
Come at me.
Oath from the heart.
That's a wrap.
Loading. Astral modulation.
Swift and resolute. The end has come.
Shut. I don't have all day. Come at me. Reduce to dust.
Strike through the shadows.
Anything I can help you with?
I will be there for everyone as we head toward our shared future, leaving the past behind.
Understood. I am here to serve your will.
Anything I can help you with?
Now, boys, that Zani comp with that level of skill expression before this update was a sub 1 minute clear time on a boss. No, it easily sub 1 minute clear time on a boss, probably 50-second clear time on a boss. So when you look at that performance there and you see that it took me more than 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 20 seconds actually to clear both bosses, that is objective evidence of HP inflation. I made use of the shield on my Zani to do all of her ults. That shield was never not on her when she was popping off during her ult. It was on. So I made use of the buff that they provided to circumvent HP inflation, and I still did not comfortably clear that tower. This is just something I want to make sure people are aware of abundantly. You cannot deny HP inflation absolutely exists. Power creep absolutely exists. I want to just play Augusta's run in the background. I don't think it's something worth watching. I didn't like get sweaty on it, so it's not like a perfect run with perfect rotations and swap backs. Just watch it in the background and watch the time completion. I'm just like doing my thing first try, by the way. But I do want to mention the vigor cost, right? We got 2 new floors, but the vigor cost remains intact. And so this is a big problem for newer players and people who don't spend a lot of money on the game. You don't have signatures. If you use my Zani comp, no SIGs on Zani and freaking Spectral Rover and Shorekeeper. Oh, brother, that 10 seconds remaining on the clock, you kiss that goodbye. You ain't getting that 3-star clear. And once again, you might be thinking to yourself, well, it's just 100 Astrite. Gacha games, never give them a fucking inch on this stuff, because it starts off that way and then it ramps up more and more. And if you let them get away with it, it's just going to get worse. It always does. Why? It's very simple. Once they start fully fleshing out rosters, right? The game's been out for over a year. You now have your fire teams, your spectral teams, ice teams, havoc teams. When they start releasing characters of the same elements, you have little incentive to pull on them because, well, what the fuck would I pull on them for? I can clear all content just fine. That's the mentality a lot of people have. So these gacha devs go, we raise the HP, and we introduce more powerful units, they're going to be incentivized to pull on the newer units. It's a tale as old as time in this space. And that's how it becomes a problem. That baseline gets compromised. This is the first cheek shown by the company. Now, do I think it's worth like going up in arms and putting your pitchforks out about it? Y'all could go for it, sure, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's just something I want to point out, to be aware of, to be conscious of, and take note of it as time progresses, because these gacha companies are slick as fuck at doing it very, very slowly and surely. And I'll be real, I didn't even say this or show this on stream or on recording yet, but the Whimpering Waste, I noticed it was a similar trend. I tried it off stream with my Camellia comp, and I was not comfortably clearing. I was literally very much sweating to get that 2,500 points. Another signal. Now, it's on the very final floor only where I run into these problems, but it's still been slowly introduced into the game. And so I confidently and honestly can say Wuthering Waves at Kudo Games has ripped a page straight out of Hoyo versus book from Honkai Star Rail, and they have introduced a similar fashion as HSR's MOC format. These older units have absolutely fallen off in power, which I have noticed for some time. But once again, it was never a problem because the baseline was fine. We now see that first sign of that baseline raised, and now those older units that have fallen off have now started to show their weaknesses. Augusta is freakishly fucking strong, man. I mean, she like does a Griffin slam for like 250k. It's like, bro, what? And then she does her ult, slicing for 35 to 40k, boom, 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 and then ults for 300k. Like during this shit, it's just like the amount of damage she's doing effortlessly is just a blatant power creep slap in the face. You know what I mean? So I think this is something worth being aware of. There's one more thing I want to talk about, and that is if you do want to clear this tower and you are struggling, you absolutely have to manage your side floors with, like, you have to be quite frugal with what you're doing, right? Like Calcharo, Kung Fu Panda Calcharo, and then I use the Zani team right here. You can even be more frugal than this. You could do just one character here. On the other side, it's, you know, the masochists with Kung Fu Panda Calcharo, and then these two. Like, and you'll notice the one redeeming quality about that 2 new floors introduced is you find a use for the older teams. The older DPS teams, you could put them on the side floors. But if you're somebody who just now got into the game, you're not going to have Yao or Yinlin, right? And so you're going to be using some weird ass wonky shit and struggling even further. This is way more of a problem for new players and casuals than it is for veterans. Veterans, our accounts are fully fleshed out. I'm using 3 different team comps here, right? So it's not even a big of an issue to me. But you know, you guys, you don't have that horizontal investment, and so you're going to be fucking cooked. A whole year, more than a whole year has gone by. This TOA has received fuck all for buffs or updates, and the update they finally do is just the exact same shit. 2 new floors, increase the HP. It's a classic Hoyo tale, bro. Increase the HP, make the newer units stronger, and do the exact same shit we've already been doing. I mean, like, brother, if this was your update after a whole goddamn year and I'm supposed to be impressed or excited about this, I'm sorry, I'm not. Yeah, it's a whole pack of ass, as Joe Button would say. That's gonna wrap up my thoughts. I look forward to anybody getting upset at me keeping it a buck as always. Peace, love, and happiness, boys. Hopefully my voice is returning. Hopefully it's almost completely returned by tomorrow. Thank you guys in the comment section that were recommending ginger tea with the lemon and honey. I've been listening to you guys like wholeheartedly. Shout out to the Asian friend. Shout out to the other guy that was talking about ginger ale. I've been doing it all, man. But yeah, I'm out, man. Thank you guys again.